A long time ago in the land of Canaan lived a young man named Joseph. He was just 17 and the favorite son of his father, Jacob, who had 12 sons in total. Jacob loved Joseph so much that he gave him a beautiful robe, richly colored and flowing, something that made his brothers burn with jealousy. But it wasn't just the robe. Joseph also had dreams. Strange dreams where his brothers' bundles of grain bowed to his, or where the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed before him. When he told his family, they didn't take it well. "What, are you saying we'll bow down to you?" his brothers scoffed. The jealousy grew so strong that one day, when Joseph came to check on his brothers in the fields, they made a terrible choice. They ripped off his robe, threw him into a dry pit, and later sold him to traveling traders headed for Egypt. They lied to their father, showing him the blood-stained robe, and Jacob believed Joseph had been killed by a wild animal. His heart broke. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to a man named Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. But even far from home and wronged by his own family, Joseph worked hard and honored God, and God was with him. Soon, Potiphar made Joseph in charge of his whole household. But trouble came again. Potiphar's wife lied about Joseph, accusing him of something he didn't do. And just like that, Joseph was thrown into prison. Imagine that, betrayed by his brothers, falsely accused, now sitting in a dark prison. But even there, Joseph didn't give up. He helped others, interpreted dreams for fellow prisoners, and kept trusting God. One day, Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt, had troubling dreams no one could explain. That's when someone remembered Joseph. He was brought out of prison to stand before the king. With God's help, Joseph interpreted the dreams. Egypt would face 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. Impressed by his wisdom, Pharaoh placed Joseph second in command over all of Egypt. Just like that, Joseph went from a prison cell to a palace throne. Years passed. The famine spread across the land, even to Canaan, where Joseph's brothers lived. Hungry and desperate, they traveled to Egypt to buy food. They didn't recognize the powerful man before them as their long-lost brother. Joseph recognized them instantly. But instead of seeking revenge, he tested their hearts. Were they still the same jealous men? Had they changed? Eventually, Joseph revealed who he was. His brothers were terrified, expecting punishment. But Joseph's response was stunning. "Don't be afraid," he said. "You meant to harm me, but God meant it for good, to save many lives." He forgave them, hugged them, and invited his whole family to live safely in Egypt. What began as a story of pain ended in healing, reunion, and grace. Joseph's journey wasn't easy. He faced betrayal, lies, and suffering. But through it all, he remained faithful. And God used every part of his story for a greater purpose. The lesson? Sometimes what looks like the worst moment in your life is the very thing God uses to shape your future. Like Joseph, we can choose faith over bitterness and forgiveness over revenge. No matter how broken the story may seem, in God's hands, it can be rewritten into something beautiful.